Hello everyone, my name is Mohit Gupta and I welcome you to my YouTube channel CAM Fundamentals. In today's video, we are going to discuss organometallic compounds, and in this we'll be talking about Grignard reagent only. So without further delay, let's get started. So this is table of contents, and today we are going to discuss what are organometallic compounds, that is its introduction. After that, we'll be studying what are Grignard reagents, how to prepare Grignard reagents, its basicity and nucleophilicity, its synthetic uses and application, and after that we have one assignment. Solve it, and in case you have any problem regarding this assignment one, then you can contact me on my email ID. So let's start with the introduction. So in introduction, first of all, we need to know what are organometallic compounds. Organometallic compounds in short form are also known as OMC, organometallic compounds. So these are the compound containing CM bond. What is M here? C stands for carbon and M stands for metal. The metal could be of S block, D block and F block. So they are also a great source of nucleophilic carbon. So here I have taken an example of alkyl lithium or methyl lithium. In this case, lithium is an electropositive element. It has very low electronegativity and its electronegativity is 1.0. On the other hand, we have carbon whose electronegativity is 2.5. So in this case, we know the carbon is more electronegative than lithium. So lithium will donate its electron to the carbon and making this carbon a nucleophilic center. The other important thing regarding the organometallic compound is the carbon should be attached to one hydrogen at least. This should be an organic compound. And what are organic compounds? Organic compounds are the one which are having carbon directly attached to the hydrogen. So this is an organometallic compound as it has carbon directly attached to the hydrogen as well as to the lithium or any metal. So we have seen here that metal forcefully donates its electron to the carbon, making the carbon a carbanion or intensify its electron density. So here are a few examples like alkyl lithium, alkyl magnesium halide, which is Grignard reagent, and we are going to study in details here. After that, we have Gilman reagent, RCuRli or R2CuLi. Here, copper is electropositive element and which is donating electrons to the alkyl group. There is another example, dimethyl zinc, where zinc is also an electropositive element. It has low electronegativity and hence it intensifies the electron density over the carbon atoms. Then we come to the Grignard reagent. What is Grignard reagent? So here we know that it is also known as alkyl magnesium halide and it has the formula RMgX. So this is the Grignard reagent and I have taken methyl magnesium halide. X stands for any halide. It could be chlorine, bromine or iodine. So magnesium being electropositive, it will donate its electron to the carbon and intensify this negative charge onto this carbon. Along with that, MgX bond is ionic here. This bond is ionic, whereas the carbon magnesium bond is not purely ionic. It is not 100% ionic, it is somewhere between 70 or 80% ionic. The electronegativity of magnesium is 1.2, whereas the electronegativity of carbon is 2.5. Here we can see that magnesium is more electropositive, or we can say magnesium is less electronegative than carbon. So obviously it will donate its electron forcefully to the carbon. So Grignard reagents are also known as alkyl magnesium halides. This was discovered or invented or prepared by Victor Grignard in 1900 and he got the Nobel Prize in 1912. Since the Grignard reagent has numerous applications, because of which the single reagent has obtained a Nobel Prize for this Victor Grignard scientist. And the name of the Grignard reagent is obviously on the name of its founder. The next important point is it is highly reactive. So Grignard reagents are super reactive and they instantly react with the moisture and gases like CO2 and oxygen. So in order to prepare Grignard reagent, we have to have inert atmosphere. For example, we have to prepare it under nitrogen or under noble gases such as argon. Next, we come to the preparation of Grignard reagent. So Grignard reagent can be easily prepared from alkyl or aryl halides. It is a very simple and a very common reaction. We take alkyl halide and then we treat it with magnesium in diethyl ether or any other ether. Point to remember here is that diethyl ether should be anhydrous or dry. It shouldn't be having any moisture, otherwise magnesium will react with the moisture, or the Grignard reagent thus formed would also react with the moisture and get deactivated. So important conditions here, the reaction should be done under inert atmosphere. Along with that, it should be done under anhydrous or dry conditions. So dry ether is used as a solvent because it is capable of dissolving alkyl halide as well as magnesium. After that, we employ nitrogen or argon atmosphere as both are inert gases and they do not harm Grignard reagent or its reactants. Next, we come to the mechanism. So it is an oxidative insertion reaction. Oxidative means that oxidation of magnesium occur here. Here we can see the magnesium is in zero oxidation state. Why it is in zero oxidation state? Because it's a metal. So magnesium is attached with other magnesium. So nobody is taking electron or nobody is giving electron. Therefore, the oxidation state of magnesium here is zero. In this case, it get oxidized. Here magnesium is donating its electron, one electron to the bromine and one electron to the carbon. Therefore, magnesium attain a +2 oxidation state here, and this is an oxidation reaction. Now, the magnesium get inserted into this carbon-bromine bond. So magnesium insert into this bond, therefore it is considered as oxidative insertion reaction. And from bromobenzene, we are able to prepare phenyl magnesium bromide. Next, Grignard reagent as a base. So Grignard reagent can act as base as well as nucleophile. So what is basically the difference between a base and a nucleophile? In case of a base abstracts proton. So anything which is negatively charged or neutral charge or having lone pair, if it attacks on a bare proton H+, then it is considered as a base. Otherwise, it is attacking on any other positive charge, it would be considered as electrophile. So for example, I have taken this CH3 negative, and if it is attacking on H plus ion, then it would be considered as base. However, it is attacking on some electrophile. Anything which has positive charge or electron deficient would be considered as electrophile except this H plus ion. This is your proton. So anything that abstract or that attack on proton is considered as base, whereas anything which attacks onto the electrophile is considered as nucleophile. So first of all, Grignard reagent act as base, and this can be verified by few reactions. First of all, it can react vigorously with the water to produce hydrocarbons. So if you treat any of the Grignard reagent with water, it will produce alkane. So here is an example. I have taken phenyl magnesium bromide. So this carbon attacks onto the proton. So obviously it is attacking on H+. So this is giving us this phenyl magnesium bromide is acting as a base here. So on attacking here, it will produce benzene, which is a hydrocarbon, and this MgBr get attached to the OH negative that releases on the attack. So we'll get MgBr OH as a side product or a byproduct. Similarly, Grignard reagents are so basic that they abstract proton from even terminal alkynes. So if you take any of the terminal alkyne, what are alkynes? That have triple bond, and terminal alkyne means that the triple bond is attached on the terminal on the one of the end. So here is an example of terminal alkyne. This is propyne CH3CCH. So CH3 is so basic that it can abstract a proton even from the terminal alkyne, which are super low acidic compounds. So CH3 attacks on this hydrogen to afford CH3H, which is CH4 methane gas, and this MgX get attached to this carbon. The C attains negative charge, C negative, and which form a bond with MgX. Similarly, it also reacts with the alcohol, like CH3 attacks on the H. Alcohol are basically neutral compounds. However, they can act as a acid in presence of Grignard reagent because it has CH3 negative, which is a very strong base. So CH3 attacks onto this hydrogen, which results in the formation of CH3 CH2O negative, and which eventually get attached to this MgX. So we'll get CH3CH2O MgX. Along with that, we'll get CH3H, which is CH4 methane gas. So here in this case, we have verified that Grignard reagent act as a base. Why? Because it reacts with the proton. So if it is reacting with the proton, it is obviously a base. Next is we have to see how come it act as a nucleophile. So obviously it has negative charge. So the negative charge can attack on proton or onto the electrophile. So in this case, we have taken an example of carbonyl carbon. This is the most important and the most common reaction of Grignard reagent. So here I have taken CH3MgX. So now we know that Mg is more electropositive, less electronegative. So it forcefully releases electron and give electron to the CH3. So CH3 attain a delta negative charge, whereas Mg attain a delta positive charge. Here delta means a little bit of negative charge. The carbon having negative charge then attacks onto this carbonyl carbon. Why? This carbon is attached to the oxygen. Oxygen being second most electronegative element of the periodic table. So it will withdraw electrons from the oxygen, therefore it gets a partial negative charge, and this carbon center get a partial positive charge. So this CH3 negative, which has partial negative charge, would attack onto this carbonyl carbon. Now the carbon have 5 bonds, so its valency is 4, so it has to break one bond. We have two bonds, a sigma bond and a pi bond, and pi bond being weaker in nature, therefore it will break and these electrons get transferred onto the oxygen. Therefore, we get CH3CCH3, same as in the case of the reactant. This green CH3 get attached onto this carbon. Here we can see this CH3 is attached. Now the double bond breaks and we left with single bond. This O negative then attaches itself to the MgX, and this is the intermediate that is being formed. The intermediate on further hydrolysis give us tertiary alcohol and MgXOH. Now you have HOH, water. So you can write water as HOH. Now the HO being negative will abstract proton, and MgX will abstract OH negative to form MgXOH, and this O will abstract H. Now you can see I have written this H2 in purple color just to emphasize that oxygen is abstracting proton from here and MgX is abstracting OH negative from this water molecule. Now we come to the synthetic applications. As I told you that Victor Grignard got Nobel Prize in 1912. Why? Because the Grignard reagent is synthetically super important. It has numerous applications, because of which just on the basis of a single reagent he obtained a Nobel Prize. Otherwise, obtaining a Nobel Prize is extremely difficult. So first of all, we'll do the preparation of carboxylic acid. So Grignard reagent is super important reagents and they can be employed for the preparation of carboxylic acid. How? I'll let you know. So here I have taken phenyl bromide, bromobenzene, and when I'll treat with magnesium with in the presence of diethyl ether, diethyl ether is acting as a solvent here. Now the magnesium get inserted into the sigma bond and we'll get phenyl magnesium bromide. The phenyl magnesium bromide then reacts with the carbon dioxide to afford benzoic acid and MgBrOH. Now how it afford? We know magnesium obtain a partial positive charge and carbon obtain a partial negative charge. So this partial negative charge attacks onto the carbon because carbon here is having a partial positive charge because it has two electron withdrawing oxygens. So phenyl attacks onto the carbon. We have double bond, a single bond breaks to give this benzoic acid, benzoate, on which on hydrolysis will afford benzoic acid. So let's see the mechanism. So here I have RBr will get the Grignard reagent, simple. Then this Grignard reagent we have delta negative on this R. It will attack here. It will attack on the carbon. So now the carbon has 5 bonds, so it will break one bond as it cannot form more than 4 bonds. So this R get attached onto this carbon and we're left with the C double bond O here. I have written it here, and then we have one bond, one single bond with the oxygen, and this oxygen obtain a negative charge and this negative will attach to the MgBr. Now when we carried out hydrolysis, then this electron will go here and now the carbon have 5 bonds, it has to break 1 bond, so it will attack onto the hydrogen. So here in this case we have RC double bond O, this double bond O is this one, and then we have OH, which is our carboxylic acid, and the MgBr will obtain OH negative from the water and will get MgBr OH. The important thing is why why this R group is attacking on this carbon. Why? Because this carbon is attached to two strongly electronegative atoms, which are two oxygens, and these two oxygen withdraw electrons from the carbon, making this carbon an electrophilic center. I have given you one more example. So here I have taken 2-bromobutane. When it is treated with magnesium in dry ether, diethyl ether, an organometallic compound is formed which is known as Grignard reagent. This Grignard reagent on reaction with carbon dioxide form this intermediate. This negative C negative attacks onto the carbon similarly like this, and we'll get this butyl group and this CO2 MgBr. On hydrolysis it will give this carboxylic acid. So it is 2-methyl butanoic acid, and it is giving in 86% yield. So this example I have taken from the book Claydon, which is a very important for net preparation of alcohols. Grignard reagents are very useful in preparation of alcohols. How? Let's see here. So I'm explaining with the help of an example. I have taken a cyclohexyl chloride here, 1-chlorocyclohexane, which on treatment with magnesium in diethyl ether under anhydrous condition and dry conditions and under inert atmosphere, it formed this Grignard reagent. This Grignard reagent then treated with formaldehyde. We are using formaldehyde CH2O, HC double bond OH. Then this R negative attacks onto the carbon. The oxygen, the pi bond of C double bond O breaks to give O negative. This O negative then attaches itself to the OMgCl, and this carbon get attached to this carbon. So a CC bond is being formed here, and we have CCO NgBr. Then this O negative will attack onto the H plus from the hydrolysis, and we'll get this primary alcohol. So one thing you need to remember, if we want to prepare a primary alcohol from Grignard reagent, then we have only one option. We have to treat it with formaldehyde. So if we're using formaldehyde only, then we'll be able to obtain a primary alcohol. So here I have written formaldehyde produces primary alcohol. So in case in your conversion you need to prepare a primary alcohol, use formaldehyde. In case you need to prepare secondary alcohol, then aldehyde would be the best option. Otherwise, preparing tertiary alcohol can be done with the help of ketone or even esters. So this is one more example. I have taken aldehyde. This is not formaldehyde, the other aldehyde, and a ketone. So ketone will result in a tertiary alcohol, and this aldehyde will result in secondary alcohol. How? I'll explain with the help of mechanism. So in this case, I have R2 MgBr. This R2 will attack onto this carbon because this carbon having partial positive charge. The double bond will break to give O negative, and this O negative will attach itself to the MgBr. So we'll get this negative is attacking here, and we'll get this. Then oxygen will undergo hydrolysis. Then this compound undergo hydrolysis, and O negative abstracts a proton from the H2O. So O negative is acting as a base here. Another example is when we take ketone, it has two alkyl group attached to this carbonyl group. Then R3 attacks onto this carbonyl carbon. We'll get R1, R2, and the R3, which is represented in the green color, would be attached here. And then a double bond will break to form C single bond O, and this O negative will abstract a proton during hydrolysis, and we'll end up having a tertiary alcohol. So the next is preparation of tertiary alcohol from esters. So this is the most important topic of this Grignard reagent. So ester on treatment with Grignard reagent produces tertiary alcohol. You can see here, and how it forms, this is very important. This reaction is very important mechanistically. So first of all, this CH3 has partial negative charge and Mg has partial positive charge. So CH3 will attack onto this carbon because this carbon is attached to two oxygen. These two oxygen is withdrawing electrons from the carbon, making this carbon an electrophilic center. So CH3 will attack onto this carbon, will get a C double bond O. This pi bond will break to give O negative, and this O negative get attached itself to the MgX. Now this electron will come back to this carbon which results into the breakage of one more bond, because now the carbon will have 5 bonds and it has to break one more bond. So it will break the C single bond O, and this CH3O negative will release. This CH3O negative will then attach with itself to the MgX, forming CH3O MgBr, and the CH3 is already attached here, so we have CH3 C double bond O CH3. This is CH3, this is not CH2. Now one more equivalent of CH3 will attack onto the ketone. Now we know that the ester has given us the ketone, and we know that the ketones are being attacked by the Grignard reagent to form tertiary alcohol. The same reaction would occur. So this CH3 having the partial negative charge will attack onto this carbon, and we'll get CH3 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 tertiary butyl group, and this OMgX, which on hydrolysis will produce third butyl alcohol and MgXOH. So here you are getting that ester on treatment with Grignard reagent produces ketone, and we know ketone on reaction with Grignard reagent automatically produces tertiary alcohol. So finally from ester we end up having a tertiary alcohol, and this ketone is the intermediate that is being formed during the reaction. The two important points is the alkoxy group is removed from the ester. This alkoxy group CH3O negative is getting removed in the form of CH3O MgX, and the two alkyl groups are added onto the substrates. This two green CH3 you can see here, one CH3 green and the other one is here. So the two equivalents of MgX CH3, two equivalents of Grignard reagents are being attached onto this group. So let's move to the next slide. Now the preparation of aldehyde and ketones from nitriles. So what are nitrile groups? So nitriles are the groups that are having C triple bond and the cyanide groups. So here I have taken an example of HCN. Now when I treat this Grignard reagent, I have taken CH3MgX. CH3 has partial negative charge, and this carbon is having partial positive charge because it is being attached with the nitrogen, which is strongly electronegative atom. So this CH3 attacks onto the carbon, which is an electrophilic center, and this triple bond breaks into the C double bond N, and nitrogen obtain a negative charge. This negative charge then further attached with the MgX to form C double bond N MgX. Now on hydrolysis, it will give HC double bond OCH3, and this MgX will release to form MgXOH, and this nitrogen is also released in the form of ammonia. Here we are getting an aldehyde. So in order to form aldehyde, we need to use HCN. However, if I take CH3CN acetonitrile or any other nitrile which is having an alkyl or aryl group here, then I'll end up having a ketone. So this CH3 negative attacks onto this carbon as usual, and we'll get the N negative which get attached with the MgX. We'll get this amine ion, and on hydrolysis it will give NH3 as well as MgXOH, and we'll end up having a ketone. So now if you want to prepare ketones from Grignard reagent, you can easily prepare it with the using nitrile. So this is the overview. Grignard reagent is very important because of its several utilities. So first is, if I treat with the acyl chloride, this MgX get react with the MgX get attached with the Cl, forming MgXCl, and this CH3 get attached itself onto the C double bond O, and we'll end up having a ketone. Similarly, this is one of the most important reaction where an epoxide is treated with the Grignard reagent. The CH3 will attack onto the CH2, and we'll get CH3, CH3, CH2, CH2, O negative, and O negative get attached itself to the MgX, which on further hydrolysis will give you primary alcohol. So in case you want to obtain a primary alcohol, there are few cases, like you can use epoxide or you can use formaldehyde in that case. Now if you treat it with the ester, you'll end up having a tertiary alcohol. On treatment with the amide, the CH3 negative will attack onto here, and we'll get NH3 as a byproduct, and we'll get acetaldehyde. The other example is carbon dioxide. So this is one of the famous example where Grignard reagent reacts with the carbon dioxide to prepare carboxylic acid. Now I have told you that we avoid oxygen. We take inert atmosphere for these reactions. Why? Because gases like O2, CO2, they reacts with the Grignard reagent to form carboxylic acid and peroxide respectively. So if you have oxygen in your reaction mixture, then it will react with the Grignard reagent formed to prepare peroxides. So it will deactivate the Grignard reagent. Therefore, we always employ nitrogen or argon atmosphere during the preparation of Grignard reagent. So on treatment this Grignard reagent with formaldehyde, you will end up having a primary alcohol. And obviously with alkyl halide, halogen exchange takes place, MgX get attached to this X and we'll get CH3R, a hydrocarbon. So this is the overview, and here I have summarized most of the reactions. So here is an assignment. So in assignment, there are several reactions. Now you can see here, like you have CH3 and then this carbon which is having oxygen, so you have OH here, you have CH3 also here. So what Grignard reagent you have to add? PHMgBr. Okay, you have to form peroxide. How you form it? You add oxygen gas. In order to form this carbon dioxide, what you will add? Carbon dioxide to the Grignard reagent. Now you want to prepare aldehyde, so you can prepare it with the help of HCN. Now you want to prepare a benzene ring, you have to remove I, then you just add Grignard reagent or just do the reaction of halogen exchange. Now you can easily attach this ET group on this. This is your ester and you will get tertiary alcohol. This is your epoxide and you will get primary alcohol. Carbon dioxide you will get carboxylic acid, and in from the CN you will get what you will get? You will get a ketone. So these are the few examples, few questions. Try it out. In case you find any problem, then write down in the comment. I'll try to explain them, or you can even mail me on my email ID camfundamentals@gmail.com.